Welcome back. I know it has been a long time since I've made a video like this or another episode like I'm about to do. Um, I could have, I just didn't want to. I guess for a while, I just haven't been in the mode or the mood of making a video, but I was still, off screen putting in the work against these worthless mutts and this horrendous dog culture. Uh, Still not a lot in terms of this dog culture. Still nothing has changed. It is still the same. It is still the same filthiness, the same disgusting behavior from these dogs and these dog owners and the dog lovers. There are still attacks. There are still children being attacked and mauled by these dogs, whether their dog is owned by their parents or not, or the dog is part of the community, the neighborhood. Children, innocent bystanders are being attacked. Their lives are being turned upside down for basically nothing at all, because dogs, even though they are worthless, even though they are brain damaged mutants, they are nothing. But even nothing can have its purpose or have its use. So much that dogs shouldn't even be called nothing, because they're so worthless. They're the worst. They are so worthless. Dogs are terrible. They're just terrible to look at. They're just terrible creatures. Even to call them creatures, even to call them animals, even to call them species, it's so hard for me to do, because dogs are at the bottom. They're in another different league, another different universe, another different area. That's how bad dogs are. I don't even like to call dogs monsters, because even monsters like you see on TV or myths or fairy tale, you can respect them. You can say, hey, this monster, even though this monster is a little bit, barbaric, a little bit sadistic, you can say, I still respect this dog. I still like this dog. I still, sorry, forgive me for saying that. I still like this monster. This monster is sadistic, but, it's kind of cool. Like monsters like Godzilla, who storms the place, killing people. Monsters like Thanos, the Boogeyman. People can still respect them and call them cool and whatnot, but dogs, I can't call them monsters, because like I said, even the real monsters from these stories and movies, they can be looked at as cool, respectable. You can learn from them. But with dogs, they're so worthless. They're so pathetic. So the title of this is... Sorry, give me for 1 second. Sorry about that. Is Dognutters don't like to be corrected. And they don't. When you look at Dognutters, as in the dog owner, the dog lovers, various people who own dogs or like dogs, they don't like to be corrected. These dog lovers think it's okay to have such a filthy, disgusting, dangerous dog in their homes. They think it's fine to have these dangerous dogs in the community. And when you tell them and correct them and tell them the truth about these dogs, of them being so vile and just sanitary, they will get upset. They will get mad, because they would rather have this filthy thing in their homes. They rather have this dangerous thing in their homes. Dognutters don't like to be corrected. When I drive, in the neighborhood and whatnot, I see a lot of dognutters, walking with dog shit. They're walking with a bag of dog shit. That is disgusting. And you go and tell them that is disgusting only because they have millions of other dognutters that do it. They think it's fine. They think it's acceptable to walk around, with dog shit. Sure, I don't want people or these dog nuts and dogs leaving their dog shit all over the public, all over the streets. But the thing is, we need to get rid of these things. You get rid of these things, get rid of these dogs, then hey, no one's going to be needing to walk with dog shit or be worried about stepping in dog shit. Get rid of these dogs. Eliminate them. Dognutters, they don't like to be corrected. You let them know that their dog is, getting on their property. You let them know that their dog is tormenting the community. They don't want to hear that. They don't care. They're going to continue to let this dog torment and bring terror to the communities. There have been so many stories out there of neighbors complaining about loose dogs, about dogs coming onto their property, about dogs scaring them and almost attacking them or attacking them. And these dog owners, they don't want to hear it. They don't care. And they say, okay. And next thing you know, the next day, next week, next month, next year, their dog is out doing the same thing again, terrorizing the community. And when you tell them the facts about dogs and you let them know what their dog is doing and what they're doing is wrong, they don't want to hear it. These dognuts will continue to live in their ways, continue to be in their ways. Continue to do it. Because these dognutters don't like to be corrected. The only time dognutters, will correct other dognutters is when a dog attacks another dog. That is it. Once a dog attacks another dog, dognutters are willing to correct other dognutters. But when no other dog is involved in a dog attack with a dog, where are these dognutters? Where are they? They just disappear. We may have some that, will bring up these excuses like it's how you train it. Blame the owner, things like that. But look at it, look at the bigger picture though. We have dognutters carrying dog shit in their hands. Their homes smell like dog piss. Dogs are terrorizing neighborhoods and communities. Dogs are attacking children. Dogs are killing people, innocent people. Where are the dognutters correcting other dognutters because of this? They don't exist because they would have to then hear it from themselves, about themselves, if that makes sense. So they keep their mouth shut when dogs are terrorizing people. They keep their mouth shut because they don't want to hear the truth out of their own mouths to themselves. They don't want to hear it. But only when a dog is attacking another dog. They're gonna, say something about it. Dognutters don't like to be corrected. With all the data, the facts, the stories, the attacks, the stats that we show regarding these worthless mutts, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to see. It's because these people are brainwashed. They're brain dead. They're dumb. They are dognutters. You show them the stats. You show them the facts. And they don't want to hear it. They don't want to listen. They don't want to comprehend it. They don't even want to acknowledge it. They rather live in the lie and speak lies and excuses just to protect these worthless mutts. The excuses that there are so many excuses out there. These dognuts have excuses for almost everything. For anything. when it comes to protecting these worthless mutts. They have excuses for everything. But when you tell them what they're doing, and you show them what they're doing, and you let them know the risks of what they're doing, the risks of owning dogs, they do not want to be corrected. I am unapologetically not sorry, but when I see when I see Dognutters walking their dogs, they look stupid. It really does look stupid. It looks ridiculous seeing so-called grown men and grown women walking this worthless thing on the street in public. It looks dumb, and what makes it worse, sometimes they're walking with dog shit in their hand. It looks so stupid. People who walk dogs, I'm sorry, but it looks, I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, but it looks dumb. Always having to look at you and see you walking dogs. It is very stupid. It looks bad. It looks so bad. You don't see this with any other animal. No one's walking cats. Oh, maybe seen them maybe once. Maybe once. But overall, you don't see people walking with cats. People aren't walking with their lizards or anything. Only with dogs. And you know what that is? Because dogs are idiotic. They're stupid. These things will jump and run to the street of oncoming traffic. They're going to attack people. They're going to terrorize people. Dogs are going to get themselves shot. Because again, we know anything and everything can trigger and bother dogs. We know that when we're on public street and this dog is in its home, it's going to bark at you and aggressively at you. So imagine when these dogs are unleashed on public street. You're done. If these things can bark aggressively at you when you're on the public sidewalk, public street, while they're in their own home, when you're minding your own business on public street, these things are aggressively barking at you. We've seen this. I know many of you have seen this. Whether the dog is in their house or on the other side of a gate or fence or upstairs in the house, we've seen it, we've heard it. You're minding your own business, this thing is barking at you. We're not even bothering it. So imagine when these things are unleashed. You are on public street, you're on your own property, minding your own business, these things will still invade. Invade your space, invade your property, and attack you. Whether they attack you or not, or jump on you or smell you, they are invading your space. They're invading your property. And a lot of people don't like that. And that's why a lot of dogs get shot. And like I said, Dognutters don't like to be corrected. Some of them do let their dogs roam and invade people's space. And when you tell them, hey, I don't like when your dog does this, what do? They laugh at you. They mock you and say, oh, is this a little dog? It's not going to bite. See, again, Dognutters don't like to be corrected. They want to continue to act like Dognutters. Continue to act like the immature, pathetic dog lovers that they are. Because they don't like to be corrected. That means they don't like to listen. They don't care about you. They don't care how you feel. Only if it's, I guess, positive feelings or reaction to their worthless mutt. Other than that, they don't care. Then why should I care? Why should anyone else care? See, Dognutters, they do not like to be corrected. I'm going to go over a few stories. Just a few of them. Try to go through them as simplistic as possible. I know there's a lot of stories that I've missed. Just taking a hiatus for a few months. I know there's been still countless of dog attacks happening all over the world. Countless of dogs killing people from adults, children, to innocent bystanders in public, in the home, dog sitters, at these dog shelters. They're getting attacked and they're getting killed all over the world. And it is impossible to keep up with every single attack. Dog attacks and feral cats. Here's how the city of Edmonton is ramping its animal bylaw. Again, dogs are not animals. They are brain damaged mutants. But you notice the title, they say dog attacks, and then they say feral cats. And I'm gonna touch base on cats in a second. The city of Edmonton exploring stricter regulations for dogs and feral cats to address public safety. The view comes as the city's animal licensing and control bylaw will be revamped after more than 20 years. And it's still funny how they want to add cats into this when it's really dog attacks. So I'm guessing they're just using, adding cats into this just to not make dogs seem as bad or to isolate dogs. Members of the public with range from veterinarians and animal researchers spoke at Monday's Community and Public Service Committee meeting at City Hall. The recommendations made by administration largely focus on animal welfare, dog attacks, bites, restricted dog regulations, and cat regulations. And this is about dog attacks. For instance, fines for a dog chasing a person or animal would be from $100 to $250, which is just a slap on the wrist. For dog attack or bite or attack, the city recommends maintaining the current $500 fine. Again, very much slap on the wrist. And the second offense, $1,000. That, again, I think all this is just a slap on the wrist. It also recommends imposing mandatory dog training for some restricted dogs, requiring that they get microchip, mandating owner reporting for dog bite incidents. Again, this is all about bully breeds because they use the term restricted dog. So I'm guessing this is about bully breeds. They also add, administration told city councilors that the recommendation were based on 2 years of research, the community engagement with Edmontonians, interested parties, and experts. But again, this is all about protecting these worthless mutts. It's not really about people being in danger. It's about protecting worthless mutts. Because this is just a slap on the wrist. And if they really cared, they would say, hey, ban and eliminate all dogs. That's what you need to say. But they don't want to say that. Because again, people writing this are dognutters. These people in this government, they're dognutters. They want to protect dogs. Councillor Karen Tang said she's heard a surge of concerns about animal safety after a dog attack in her ward led to death of a child last spring. Which, this is nothing new. Year in, year out, dogs are attacking children. Whether it's a dog in the same home or dogs attacking children out in the public. So speaking of cats, there are some outdoor cats around me, around where I live, and excuse my language, but they don't give a shit. So I'm gonna let this video that I made, I'm gonna post separately another time, explain what I mean. Probably would never own one, but cats. Yeah, I like cats. Probably would never own one, but I like them. Like watching cat videos. There's a few outdoor cats where I'm from, and just watching them, is just very therapeutic in my opinion. And I have no beef with them. They don't bother me. I don't bother them. The most they'll do is look at you and just keep walking and doing their business. They will roam from house property to house property, but there's no issue. I like one of the reasons why I like cats is because they just don't give a shit. Excuse my language. They don't care. Not saying they don't care in a kind of slack way, but they just don't care to like bother you or to invade your space. The other night, coming home late, maybe around 10 o'clock or whatever, so it's really dark at night. Obviously, there's a cat, perched on one of my fences to my house where I had to pass. The cat looked at me, I passed it, and that was it. End of story. That's what happened. Cat didn't hiss, didn't try to attack me, didn't invade my space. The cat just kept sitting there minding its own business. I mind my own business, and I got to live another day, and everything's cool. And the following day, I see it again walking past my property again. And guess what? Nothing happened. We just go our separate ways. It does what he or it, whatever he or she does whatever it does. I do what I do, and then end of story. Now, you replace this cat with a worthless mutt, a dog. This thing is going to be barking at you, growling at you. It's going to invade your space. You're going to hear it panting. You're going to have to look at its ugly face, its ugly body. You cannot. It's impossible to mind your own business when there's a dog present. That's why there are leash laws. That's why there are laws of keeping dogs on your property. That's why there's these laws and rules of keeping dogs secure. But we don't hear that with cats to an extent. I'm sure there's some laws regarding cats, outdoor cats. But with cats, it's like cats don't care. We don't care. We go throughout our days, and cats don't bother us. They don't invade our space. But with dogs, they're going to invade your space. Whether you feed it or not, they're going to attack you. They're going to bother you. They're going to exist in front of you. They're going to look ugly in front of you. And I was thinking, like, why? I know I do it too in the past, but why do we instantly, couple up cats and dogs with each other? Why are, cats and dogs, opposite of each other? Why? When cats are by far superior and are on another level than dogs. They're on another level, a higher level, a higher regard, higher pedestal than dogs. Why do we, even I, compare cats to dogs all the time? Even in this video, I'm doing it right now, but why do we when it shouldn't even be a question? Because cats are superior. Cats are cleaner. You're not going to get attacked by a cat. I'm not saying you're never, ever, ever going to get attacked by a cat, but it's very rare. You probably have a 0.6% chance of being attacked by a cat. While when the dog is present, whether it's leashed, on its own property, in its own house, you have that increases every time. Have you ever walked in front of a house that had a dog inside of it, all doing is barking at you just for walking on public property? That means the risk of getting attacked, it increases. But we see outdoor cats without a leash, without an owner nearby, on public property, on their own property. They ain't barking at you, they ain't hissing at you, they ain't doing nothing. They ignore you. We ignore them. Even that night when the cat was on my property, on top of the fence, I was whistling at it. I was hissing at it to get its attention, and guess what it did? Nothing. Didn't even look at me. I went like, those things you always do? I kind of whistled, and nothing. Didn't even turn around to look at me. And that's what I like about cats. They don't give a shit. They don't care. Again, I'm not saying they don't care in a slack, lazy way. I'm saying they don't care to bother you, to be distracted of you. They don't care for that. They do their own thing, you do your own thing, and we can go home peacefully. We can live peacefully. But with dogs, they kill everyone.
Okay, they kill everyone. They kill people every day, all around the world. They kill their owners. They kill the hands that feed them. They kill shelter workers. They're killing everybody that take care of them, that feeds them, that grooms them. They're gonna kill. They're gonna attack you. But with cats, they just don't give a shit about you.
Yep. Cats don't give a damn about you. Again, I'm saying that in a way of, they're not going to annoy you. They're not going to bother you. Outdoor cats will just run away from you. They look at you and they keep going. Even if you step on their property, they're going to look at you and they're going to run away. If they come onto your property, they avoid you. They don't even look at you. And I can, say that for myself. Cats without owners nearby, I'm fine. I'm cool. They ignore me. They run away. They do their thing, and we're good. Even when dogs are on leashes with their owners, they're always still lunging at you, always still barking at you, always still looking at you. Like, come on. Like, what? I'm not the one feeding you. Why are you looking at me? Why are you coming at me for? I don't get it. I don't get it. All the other natural animals stay far away from you. Bees, for a while, they stay far away from you. Even houseflies, for the most part, they stay away from you. Squirrels, raccoons, skunks, even coyotes, wolves, they all stay away from humans. But dogs, oh my goodness, even when you have nothing to do with this thing, they want to be near you. They want to go at you. They don't even know you. I don't feed it. They still want to be near you. They still come into your space. They still go onto your property. It is just so annoying. But anyways, trying to see what I wanted to say about this. Probably not this one. Oh yeah, so we're looking at the dog stats for recent years, for 2020, 2024. There's no data yet, but we can look back at 2023. We can see that their dog bites, dogsbite.org, has recorded 63 dog bite fatalities, which, it is more in the U.S. Now, this is U.S. based, but it's way more than this in the U.S. There's way more attacks than this. But it is what it is on this site. They say 24% were children victims, 70% were adult victims, 54% were multi-dog attacks, of which pit bulls were involved in 65%. And we look at 2022, 56 dog fatalities. And they say the CDC, I think that's the dog thingy, or is that the is that health department? I can't remember. CDC, but it is. This children victims were 70%. Adults, children victims were 21%. Adult victims were 73%. Multi-dog attacks, 64%, and pit bulls were involved in 64%. In 2021, we have 36% were children victims, 51% were adult victims. Pit bulls were involved in 68% of those. With 47 dog fatalities, obviously, again, it should be higher than this. Children victims at 32%. Adult victims 55%, and pit bulls were involved in 67%. So this is dogsbite.org and their stats of what they have calculated, but I'm pretty sure that is way more than this, just in the U.S. alone. But if you want to include the entire world, no doubt it is by far way, way higher than this. But again, you look at the past years from at least 2019 to 2005. A lot of deaths, a lot of attacks happening all across the United States of America. And it's funny how the more they sell and release and allow these pit bulls or dogs in general to live in our communities, it's the more attacks that occur. I'm not saying pit bulls were, non-existent before 2005. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of pit bulls still accessible and still around. But it wasn't until after the Michael Vick thing, I can't remember what year that was. Let's see, Michael Vick dog fighting. Because it wasn't until after the Michael Vick case, 2007, that's when there was a surge of these bully breeds, pit bulls, being released. And then we have, TVs and movies and celebrities promoting and pushing these bully breeds to the public. And next thing you know, we're in 2025 and the attacks have surged. Alone in just 2023, over 63 dog bite fatalities. I'm pretty sure at least out of all of this, 3/3 at least were bully breeds. But they say 65% of them were pit bulls or bully breeds that were involved. So what this means to me, in my perspective, is that the more they allow pit bulls, bully breeds, or dogs in general to live in our communities, the more dog attacks there are going to be. Because not a lot of people were owning these things back in 2025. And we can say, again, this is still a lot, but it's a lot. This is still a lot, but it's a lot less than today. So that means the more pit bulls and bully breeds there are, the more victims there are going to be. And it's funny how we have more resources. There are more dognut trainers on YouTube, on social media, on TV. You have all these celebrities and so much resources regarding these dogs. But yet, dog attacks continue to rise. They continue to rise. Neighborhood on edge as dog attacks spark accountability clash. Look how ugly these things are. They look like this. Everything about them looks so disgusting, man. That's why I hate driving and having to look at these things. It's like, even though I don't own them and I stay far away from them, I still have to see them, and it's like, I don't want to see these ugly things. What began as a dispute over a violent dog attack on Victoria Street in Aurelia has sprawled into a broader neighborhood controversy, a clash of opinions, and a debate over where responsibility lies when dogs repeatedly injure pets and people. See, these dogs, just having them, creates unnecessary problems. It creates unnecessary war amongst people. Without these things in our communities, in this neighborhood in particular, they most likely would be having nothing to argue about. But when you add them into the community, that dog is a threat to everyone. Everyone in I'm going to go as far as a 20-mile radius. And it might be too much. But nevertheless, this dog is a threat to everyone. And anyone who walks, drives, lives in the neighborhood. And what has happened? It is creating a divide, a division amongst these neighbors, amongst this community, amongst this city, over these worthless mutts. I don't care if a dog is trained or untrained. What really matters? What is the factor and the focal point is that these things are dangerous. They have attacked people ongoing year in, year out. They have attacked children year in, year out. They're filthy. They're just so ugly. That's what matters. They're dangerous. So whether they're trained or untrained is irrelevant at this point. Because we've been seeing this trend every day when there's some type of, and I'm quoting this, an animal attack. I hate to call dogs animal, but for this case, an animal attack, 9 times, I'll say 9.5 times out of 10, it is a dog involved in the attack. Whether this dog is attacking another natural animal, another dog, or this dog, this worthless mutt, is being attacked by a natural animal. Nearly all the time we hear about dog attack or being attacked, it's dogs in the mix. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, man. This is just, oh my God. It's annoying at this point. Women given dog ban after XL bully attack. I mean, what's new? Woman has been banned from keeping dogs after XL bully dog mauled a man at her home in Nottinghamshire. Officers were called to Maple Leaf's Garden Workshop at around say 5:45 BST time. Not sure what that is. On 14th of August, after the dog attacked Beverly Anderson, 62, her friend, who was left with serious injuries to his face and hands. Why would you go into someone's home who you know or see owns a dog? I don't know why you would do that. You're 62, man. You should be the one teaching me, giving me the knowledge of not making stupid mistakes like this. Yet here I am, at age whatever, having to, feel like I'm talking down to this 6-year-old person. And there's a saying that with age you gain wisdom. But with this increase of dogs and being dog owners and dognutters, those people get a lot dumber. You're 62 and and you willfully put yourself into a position to get attacked. She was banned from keeping a dog for 10 years and given a 12-month jail sentence, suspended for 12 months. So they say she's banned from keeping a dog for 10 years. And then she was banned after, it says, never mind, I read that wrong. Yeah, so she's banned from keeping dogs for 10 years. Now, the question is, who's going to enforce this rule on her? We all know these dognutters are slick. They're rule breakers. They're dog-centric. She's probably going to hoard dogs in her basement or whatever. And who's going to know? Who's going to tattletale on another fellow dognutter? Like, come on. Like, is a dognutter or pit nutter who knows her story, and they see her with a dog, any kind of dog, do you think these dog nutters are going to tattletale on her? Because you know what that means? That means that dog will have to end up in some type of shelter now. Now they got to make and wait for a forever home for this worthless mite. So other dog nutters aren't going to say anything if they see her with a dog. In Regina, it's in Saskatchewan, Canada, survey sparks debate over banning certain dog breeds. Here we go again. A new city of Regina survey reviewing the animal bylaw has stirred debate amongst residents whether certain dog breeds should be banned. If we're always talking about dog bans and dog laws and new dog laws and talking about dog attacks and, you know, dog training their dog over and over again, then these dog nuts and this government have to see that the dog is the problem here. Hey, I'm not excusing dog owners and dog nutters for their disgusting behaviors, but the dog is the problem. Like, it is 2025 on the brink of 2026. And we're still talking about, you know, these bans and other dog laws. We shouldn't be talking about that at all. What we should be doing is eliminating these dogs. You keep them in our society, whether it's a bully breed or not. There's going to be problems regarding dogs. Always is, always will be. Now we all have to like depend on this dog nutter to train this dog to not act like a dog now. So we gotta wait for this thing to like attack us before anything can happen. It's just so ridiculous. The residents are asked to answer 12 questions, including limiting ownership of certain dog breeds. I think it's up to the owner to raise a dog with right temperament. I don't think there is a single breed that's bad here. We've heard this before many, many times. It's all about time and energy. And a lot of these dog nuts, they waste so much time and energy on these dogs. And that's why when they come into social settings, they're so rude, they're so egocentric, they're so just selfish, they're so bad to people, they're bad to their own children because they've put so much time and energy and focus on these worthless mutts. For what? Like, for what? We have to show love and firm. Yeah, who gives a shit? We have to say, dog nutter. As for owners bringing dogs around others, we would hope they understand their personality and how they play. They also mentioned dog owners can take their worthless mutt to other places besides parks. As other dog owners, a retired mailman supported banning certain dog breeds. There's a lot of dog bites out there. You see some with these aggressive dogs chained up, so is it really fair for them? King says he's been bitten by a dog while having several confrontations with canines. While King supports banning certain dog breeds, he understands that not all pit bulls or German shepherds are bad, in his worthless opinion. A dog can be raised well by socializing with others. And you notice how it's only dogs that get this. It's only dogs that get this socializing excuse or tactic. Not cats. Not lizards. Not your spider, your tarantula. Not your goldfish. Maybe not your horse so much, not your sheep, not your chicken, not your pigs, not your ants in your ant farm, But it's only dogs that have to be forced to be socialized. Only dogs that need training. Only dogs that require amount of time and energy. And all these excuses for dogs to avoid looking at them for what they really are. And that is dangerous. Even someone who's been attacked by dogs is willing to defend dogs. It makes no sense whatsoever. You firsthand have experienced almost life-threatening experience with these dogs. But yet, this person still wants to go out and defend dogs. Use the excuse that they need to be socialized. I have a neighbor who has a big dog and she never walks it or doesn't take it anywhere, and that dog has become aggressive because it's isolated. Again, we only see this with dogs. They can't handle outside. They can't handle being inside. You keep the dog outside, they say, oh, you can't keep it in for that long. Don't keep the dog outside. You keep the dog inside. You can't keep it inside. Don't keep it inside for too long. Dogs can't handle rain. They can't handle thunder. They can't handle knocks. They can't handle a little fireworks. They can't handle nothing. And the whole world has to turn their whole lives literally upside down and even sideways for these worthless mutts. And in the end, these dogs' lives, their benefits mean absolutely nothing. But like I said, even nothing has a purpose. Even nothing is meaningful. But with dogs, their lives, anything regarding dogs is worthless. So again, this article, we already know. It's just about letting bully breeds continue to terrorize the entire world. It's about bully breeds terrorizing cities, towns, and homes, where we have to wait until someone is attacked and or killed. And remember, this guy says these things need time and energy. We've heard these cases time and time again, where a dog has never showed sign of aggression. Dog was trained. We trained it with love and all that. But guess what? Years down the road, months down, this thing just snaps and kills. So training thing is irrelevant. This whole giving it time and energy is irrelevant. Because we've seen in many cases where they've loved and they've trained. They gave it time and they gave it energy to this dog. And still it goes on to attack the owner, attack another spouse, attack a dog sitter, attack a child, attack someone out in the public, attack someone in the neighborhood, attack someone on their own property. They'll even attack other natural animals. They'll even attack other worthless mutts. So it take a while, but in Baltimore, there was another dog attack, but the police neutralized the situation by fatally shooting the worthless mutt. A Baltimore police officer shot an unleashed dog on Friday morning while responding to reports of an attack. When the officer arrived, the victim of the attack stated that a loose dog bit her, and while the officer was gathering information, 3 dogs returned. The officer tried to secure the dogs inside the yard by closing the gate, but one of them charged, biting him twice. So this, I'm not sure if this is a officer, didn't use any lethal or aggressive force against these worthless mutts, but yet they still go on to attack. and he or she had to go and shoot and kill these worthless mutts. Baltimore dog laws. It's meaningless. It's meaningless. Again, they have these laws in place, but we just seen these dogs attacking, or never seen, but we just heard of these dogs attacking someone. So this is just so meaningless. To say, it's required that all dogs to be kept confined in a secure enclosure. Okay, but these were not. The other ones that have happened months before, weeks before, that are going to happen after. They're not. They still go out and attack people. All I'm trying to say is that these laws are pointless because these dogs themselves don't know the laws. They don't know the laws. They don't care. You tell them, they just don't care. So it's so pointless. And it's more pointless when we have these dog owners, Dognutters, dog lovers that don't care. They let these dogs run and rule the yard, rule the home, rule the neighborhood. They get lazy. And the other article says time and energy. A lot of these dognuts are lazy. They're lazy. They just, after a long day of whatever, they have no time to boss a dog around. These are human. These dognuts are human. They're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna forget to close the door, close the window. They're gonna say, "I'm gonna nap for a few seconds. The dog will be fine." But guess what? No, they go out the window. They go out the door that wasn't secured and they attack. They climb under. They climb over. Again, the problem is the dogs. And the real solution is to eliminate them. Eliminate these dogs. Wisconsin wolves have already attacked more hunting dogs than last year, with 6 dogs killed just 2 days. So it's funny how these hunting dognutters can use dogs to kill and hunt innocent animals, and they'll get praised for it. They'll get praised for it on social media. Everyone likes it. Everyone loves it. They'll use that dead carcass of the natural animal as a trophy. But now when the tables are turned, when it's natural animals attacking these worthless mutts, all of a sudden now it's a problem. People want to outcry and cry and get mad and throw a hissy fit when their beloved worthless mutts are attacked by natural animals. It is just a backwards world. And they say that those worthless mutts, the dogs, the domesticated dogs, they came from these wolves. But yet, these same dognuts will use these worthless, ding-batted, dim-witted, worthless mutts and use them to kill and hunt other natural animals like the wolf. So basically, they're killing, if it's true, I question it, but if it's true, they're killing the mother. They're killing the mother of their worthless mutt, basically, if that even makes sense. They're killing the fathers of their worthless mutt. Because these dog nuts, they don't care. They're so brainwashed and dumb, they only care about worthless mutts. Their worthless mutts. They only care about their dim-witted worthless mutt. Yeah, I'm not going to read this, but we all know these dog nuts are going to, are going to cry and get upset because a natural animal killed their dog. But they have no regards when their worthless mutts kill other natural animals. But the title says Dognutters don't like to be corrected. You tell them and you call out their dog nuttery. You tell them what their dog has done and tell them to stop doing what they're doing. You tell them to stop walking with dog shit in public. You tell them to eliminate their dog and get rid of the dog. You tell them that, you're afraid of dogs, you don't like dogs. They don't care. They don't want to hear it. They don't care. They're going to continue to be a disgrace. Dog owners are going to continue to be a wreck. Anyways, I am Tim Watson. This is another, worthless mutts. And just remember, it's okay to hate dogs. Thank you for watching.